G'day and welcome. Today, we're going to tackle a massive source of stress for so many Aussie practice owners, and that is, of course, cash flow.
So here's what we're diving into. We'll start by really nailing down the problem. Then we'll look at a real-world case study, find the solution, and finally see how putting some smart systems in place can really secure your practice's future.
Okay, let's get stuck into it. It's a story I hear all the time. Your practice is profitable on paper, things look great, but you're still lying awake at night worried about making payroll.
Does this sound familiar? You're doing amazing work. The revenue numbers look solid, but the bank account just doesn't seem to reflect that success, especially when you're stuck waiting on those delayed payments from health funds and insurance companies. It's a tough spot to be in.
And this is the absolute heart of the issue. You've got to understand this distinction. Look, a strong profit is fantastic. We all want that. But it's the actual cash in the bank that pays your staff, your suppliers, and keeps the lights on day to day.
So unlike your local coffee shop where they get paid on the spot, a dental practice often waits weeks, sometimes even months, after you've provided the service. And that gap, that's the danger zone. That's exactly where all the trouble starts.
To see how this really plays out, let's look at an actual case study. We'll call him Dr. James, a practice owner from down in Southwest WA. Now, on the surface, his practice looked fantastic, but behind the scenes, he was constantly feeling that financial squeeze.
So, after a long chat with his accountant, he managed to identify 3 key mistakes, 3 really common cash flow traps that were just systematically draining his business and, causing a heap of unnecessary stress.
Right. So trap number 1, he was totally reliant on that summer rush. You know the one, December and January, when families are booking in before school and trying to use up their health fund limits. He'd use that cash to carry the practice for the rest of the year, which left him dangerously exposed during the quieter months, like March and May.
Next up, he had literally tens of thousands of dollars just tied up in patient accounts. People were taking their sweet time to pay, with some bills stretching out to 45 or even 60 days past due. I mean, that is a huge amount of money just sitting there, completely out of reach.
In this one, this is a biggie. Every single dollar that came into the practice was immediately funneled out again to pay bills or reinvested. There was no safety net, no buffer, absolutely nothing set aside for unexpected emergencies. And here you go. This is the real-world consequence of having no buffer. The aircon carks at midsummer, which, let's be honest, is going to happen eventually in Australia, and suddenly what should be a predictable expense becomes a full-blown financial crisis.
But here's the good news. These traps, they all have pretty simple and effective solutions. Dr. James made a few straightforward but really powerful changes that completely turned his practice's financial health around.
He focused his energy on just 3 areas. Number 1, getting paid faster. Number 2, creating a proper financial safety net. And number 3, planning his expenses to actually match the natural rhythm of his practice's income. Simple, right?
So first up, he brought in upfront deposits for those high-value treatments. This not only secured commitment, but it really helped that initial cash flow. He also set up automatic payment reminders to chase up balances, making sure most were paid within 14 days, not 60.
Next, and this was a game changer, he made it a top priority to build a dedicated reserve fund. The goal was to have at least 1 month's worth of operating expenses just sitting in a separate account, ready for anything. The aircon would never be a crisis again.
And finally, he stopped just looking at his P&L statement after the fact. He actually started forecasting his cash flow month by month. This meant he could time his big supplier payments to line up with when he knew the cash would be coming in. And just like that dangerous reliance on the busy seasons was over.
So how do you make these kinds of changes stick? Well, Dr. James's story isn't just about a few quick fixes. It's about building robust, long-term operational systems that create real, lasting financial stability. And this is totally backed by research. Studies on practice management show that the most financially stable and efficient clinics, they consistently nail these 3 core areas. It's what sets them apart. Which brings us to the next big frontier for efficiency: technology. Artificial intelligence in particular is an absolute game changer for getting rid of that admin burden that so often bogs down a practice and kills your cash flow.
When you integrate these kinds of tools, it has a direct and almost immediate impact on your bottom line. It speeds up payments, it frees up your staff's valuable time, and it helps you plan your resources way more effectively.
In fact, get this, some studies are showing that AI can help process insurance claims 5 times faster than the old manual ways. Just stop and think for a second what getting that cash in the bank 5 times faster would do for your practice's stability. It's huge.
Okay, so what does this all mean for you and your practice right now? Let's make this really, really practical.
So if you walk away with anything today, let it be this. First, build that safety net. Second, get paid faster. Aim for 14 days. Third, plan ahead by looking at your actual cash movements. And finally, let smart technology do the heavy lifting for you.
You don't have to fix everything all at once. Seriously, even one tiny improvement, like setting up those automated reminders or just starting a small buffer fund with a few $100s, that can make a massive difference to your financial peace of mind. Thanks so much for watching.